everyone thinks that their boss is a villain. Oh, you're such a witch. Oh, you're such a bad person. Ugh. What happens when your boss is really a villain? Keep watching to find out what book we're talking about today. Hey y'all, it's Kyla Denanyoh, and today we are talking about what life would be like if you were the assistant to a villain. Today's book is Assistant to the Villain. The author of the book is Nicole Maehrer. The genre of the book is fiction. The theme of the book is fantasy. So, I love this book. I was looking for books that were about like dating your boss or being with your boss, or like what happens when people like get into that weird, nasty conundrum. And this came up. I had never heard of Maehrer, and I was so surprised and thrilled to find out that she wrote this book series on TikTok. She just thought it would be hilarious to think of Evie, and maybe she was with this guy named Tristan, but she got this job, but like she couldn't leave the job, but she really liked her boss, but like she couldn't be with the boss because she really needed the job. And people fell in love with it, and they were obsessed with the series online. They couldn't wait for the next installment, and now they've turned it into a book. I read the second book as well, and there's a third book that's being published. So I'm like so excited. So this book follows Evie Sage, and the ending, I didn't see it coming. I read a lot of fantasy and sci-fi books. I did not see the ending coming. So Evie gets a job. She starts working for this guy. But I mean, like, Tristan is really a villain, like throwing people off the buildings. He wants his cauldron brew, this special, like, extra weak way with like milk and sugar in it, but she has to sneak it because he doesn't want people to know that he's drinking this like weak girly coffee or whatever. And so he's got his pet frog, and it's just like, Kingsley is hilarious. Like, okay, yeah, Kingsley doesn't speak, and he keeps picking up these signs and showing them with words on them, but he's a frog who knows how to write. So you're completely invested in the story, and you're following it along, and you're like, okay, Evie, okay, I'm so glad you got this job. Okay, oh, a big misunderstanding with the dragon. Okay, and then here we go. And then, what? The ending was so great, but like, I'll tell you, the best thing about this book is that you're reading it and the ending is so sharp, you know there has to be another book. Those are my favorite kind of books that lead you into another, right? Like, it's written intentionally for there to be another book. The author knows something else is coming. Because the way it just ends, I mean, you're just like, oh wow, this is happening, this happened. Her dad did what? Say what now? Huh? Wait a minute, okay? So Nicole had us on a journey, but life when you're assistant to the villain can be kind of crazy. Like, there's a little bit of hiding, there's a little bit of cross-dressing. You might have these big bruises that like glow and stuff, you know, when his magic gets activated, because they're in this fantasy world. And it was so good. Like, I can't believe this is the first book she ever wrote. I mean, to be honest, when you write things consistently on social media, that is a form of writing, it's a form of practice. But this was so cute. So even if you don't think that you like fantasy books, I would consider picking this up, because if you've ever had a corporate job with a boss who has shareholders and people to answer to, you'll understand this. But only the boss could be the king, or the boss could be someone who wants to wipe out an entire village, or the boss could be someone who's like off with the intern's head. But it's really happening because it's in the book. Very, very funny. And I have to point this out because I just gave that crazy description. The book is not gruesome. You're not getting long, detailed passages about blood dripping from people. None of that, right? It's just like, you threw another intern off the roof. What did I tell you about that? Oh, you just didn't have your cauldron brew on time. You can't do that, right? It's really funny. Fantasy villain killing in a funny way, and it's a love story. Put that on a t-shirt. So if you enjoyed this, I think that you will really, really enjoy this next book here, okay? But this one is about like a true villain. But the best part is it's written by someone who is not known for writing scary books, right? Colleen Hoover is not known for her scary thrillers, but Verity will definitely terrify you, all right? So I'll see you in the next one.